Hey everybody, welcome to Comics with Bueller. As always, I'm Bueller. Today is episode 76 of the new Coffee and Comics show. As you can see, I'm not alone. I have my good friend Bob here with me. Bob, how are you?
I'm hanging in there, buddy. How about yourself?
I'm doing okay. This episode's going to be a little different.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and start off with how we normally start off, the coffee that we're drinking.
Sure.
And right now, I'm drinking just regular coffee that I made myself. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure the beans are from the grocery store.
There you go.
But I'm using my favorite mug. This is like a tin mug, like a camping one.
There you go.
And I love coffee out of a tin mug. It just kind of has a little ting to it.
Something about that, right?
Yeah. So it's really good. I'll take a sip. It's no Mocha Express, but it has a cool cup. So What about you? You actually went there today.
I did. They had a long line because it's takeout only. And so, I kind of waited for everything to whittle down, went in and got my coffee. And today I am having a sugar-free toasted marshmallow Americano.
And let me guess, it's really tasty?
No, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try every single sugar-free sweetener there until I find something that's as good as the hazelnut.
There you go.
Right? And this one just tastes like sugar. Yeah. It doesn't taste like toasted marshmallow. So there you have it.
What about your make-believe eggnog?
No, that's there.
Yeah, it's not there. I asked. They said he was full of it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I said I wasn't surprised. I know the guy pretty well now.
Yeah,
so
I'm putting the camera in that place.
No, I don't know. It's not going to work. So, like I said a little bit earlier, this is a different episode we're going to do. We were going to discuss a topic. We're going to put that on the back burner, and we're going to actually talk about some other stuff. We're pretty sure by the time this video airs that Oregon will probably be in quarantine or lockdown, whatever you want to call it, stay at home. The governor's under a lot of pressure, and so the mayor's all upset, and we're pretty confident tomorrow is the day we all kind of get stuck in our homes for a while. We don't know how long that's going to last, so Bob and I talked, and we've decided that today is going to be the last coffee episode for a while. Because really, we love doing this, but we don't want to put each other in any danger, and the loved ones that we have, which are older, this could affect them. Mm-hmm. We don't want to take that chance. So Bob lives not too far away, but he's going to stay home. His real job, the big company that you work for, they pretty much shut down, right?
Actually, no. We're actually one of the businesses that the president has deemed as essential.
Nice.
Which is the trucking industry. So I'm very fortunate. I don't want to say that I'm lucky, but I am very fortunate that I'm able to work from home. Yeah. And as long as they continue to let the trucking industry be essential, I have work. So I'm very thankful.
So you get to stay home. You get to keep that lease of that nice car they give you?
Yes, I do.
That's awfully nice. Very nice of them to do that.
I know. I mean, I get a really nice car for about the price of a Hyundai leased every month.
There you go.
Right.
Nothing to complain about that, right?
No, not at all.
Yeah. Like I said before, this is what I do. I kind of just stay home, make videos. So, if I don't have to leave my house, I'm not going to. There's really no reason for me to do so. I've got everything I need here, food, and water, and toilet paper, and all that good stuff.
There you go.
So the best thing for us to do, we're just going to stay home, and the best thing for probably you guys to do is do the same thing. Stay home if you don't have to go out. That's the best way to combat what's going on right now.
Exactly.
So that's kind of the decision we made. So it's not an easy decision to make, but it's a necessary one. And because honestly, it sounds like things are going to get a lot worse before they get better. Yeah,
unfortunately.
Yeah, and it's just weird time that we're in. Mm-hmm. I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. I mean, everything's been canceled. MegaCon probably get canceled today as well. They're supposed to announce it.
Yeah.
Won't be surprised if that happens. But you know what? We have the love of comic books.
Yes.
And we love talking about comics. That doesn't mean that we're not going to do our regular videos that we normally do.
Yeah.
I'm still going to do my top 10 and my preview video and some other videos. Mm-hmm. Bob's probably going to still do his videos. No reason why he can't. Or live
I'll be
streams.
doing them from home instead of doing them from the refuge like I did on Saturday, but I can do it from home.
Yeah. So we're still going to do those, just not together. No, we're not going to be hugging or nothing like that. The wife excited for you to be home more?
No, she wants me to go back to work.
I get it. I get it. She's like, go over
when
to
are you going
Bueller's.
back?
Go over to Bueller's.
Yeah.
Stay as long as you want.
I'm insufferable. That's all there is to it.
That being said, I want to talk about my other channel really fast. It's called Travesty. The link is down below. That's my other channel. I've had it for a while. I really don't talk about it very much, but this week I am going to mention it quite a bit. I do all my live streams on there. I've been doing that for months. So if you want to go check out that channel, please do so. The link is down below. And I will probably be on there today, maybe right after this premieres in the morning. And I plan on doing live streams on that one on Monday mornings as well at this time slot. Just myself, and if Bob wakes up or whatnot, he can join or go from there, you know. And but that will be on the other channel. So please check that out. It's Travis T. That's my real name. That's my first name and my middle name because I don't have a real middle name.
Oh, no.
My parents were really lazy. They're like, 11 kids later, we're not even going to bother giving this one a middle name. I was like, I didn't have any say in the matter, so I just took it.
Right.
But, join me there on that channel. It's a lot of fun. There's not a lot of structure to it. It just talks about comics and whatever we want to talk about.
Yeah.
That being said, we're going to talk about some comments that people have left on our videos. They're really special comments that people have said very kind things about us. And we feel the same way about you guys as well. So we're going to share a few of those comments. This isn't going to be a very long video. We're actually going to go ahead and announce the winners of the 2 giveaways that are going on later on in the video. So if you want to stick around for that, please do so. That's the giveaway for the Finger Guns autograph. And let's see, the slab, the Action Comics #1 slab that was donated by Dad Bod Shenanigans. We're just going to go ahead and give those away today. But before we get started, let's talk about the artwork that we were sent.
Yes.
And we were sent this lovely piece, and you can see mine right there, from Logan Lumpkins. He is actually a longtime viewer of my channel.
And mine as well.
And yours as well. And he sent this great artwork. And honestly, I look at that and I'm like, man, that's a t-shirt right there.
Yeah.
That needs to go on a t-shirt. So maybe that's something I do down the road, when all this crap
dies
worked
down.
out. Yeah. Maybe that's something I look at. But Logan, thank you. I love it. I've put it in my videos since I got it. It's like a little digital image. It's in the background. I love this thing. But I'm not the only one who got one.
No, I got one as well.
You got one as well. Why don't you share that?
Sure thing. This is up on my Instagram. I've showed it on my videos as well. And this is also a t-shirt, but it's also dear to my heart because of what he actually drew on it. And there it is right there. He's got the Bullseye Bob on the top. I love the font that he used and how he created that. Of course, Daredevil's there, which sings to my heart. And as you know, I did the cosplay as Kingpin, so he put a Kingpin on there next to Daredevil. And the really cool thing, if you can zoom in on the picture, you can't from there, but the Kingpin on there actually has my goatee, and the coffee cup has the bullseye symbol on it. That's awesome stuff. Logan, thank you so much. I love it, and I probably will get this on a t-shirt as well.
That's pretty cool. Here, hold yours up together like that.
Yeah.
Kind of make a little bit of room. Look at that.
That is awesome stuff.
And here, a little bit close. There we go. There.
Share.
Okay, perfect. There you go.
There we go.
So he also made Sam one from Sam's Tangled Web, which is really cool. I'm sure Sam's going to feature that. He's been kind of staying at home as well. And so next time he's over here, I don't know when that's going to be, but he'll be able to pick that up. But I did send him a picture of it, and I think he posted it online or something like that.
That's awesome.
But it's safe here, Sam. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It's all good. Let's go ahead and jump into our first 5.
Sure.
You want to go first?
Sure, I can do that. I brought a couple things. I never received my Battle Pug #5. I got it this week. I was very happy about that. That's a book that I really love. And then I got Bang issue #1, but I got the second print, which has this variant cover. Not a variant cover to it, but a different cover. And that's actually a little harder to get than the first printing. So
is that why you gave me your copy #1?
No, I still have another one of those too. I had a couple copies.
This guy, he's got everything.
I don't have everything. I want to bless my friends.
Bang!
And then I don't know if I showed this on the channel before. You said I probably did. But this is the Clayton Crane Revenge of the Cosmic Ghost Rider cover, which I thought was just amazing.
That's
and then
pretty cool.
One of the covers I got this week was Decorum #1, and this is that Virgin variant cover, which is just awesome. when I saw that advertised, I had to get it. And then this book I've been looking for a while. It's Daredevil #1. It's the Dark Reign, the list, but it's Bullseye. And that'll be added to my Bullseye cover collection.
Nice.
And I don't know, maybe I'll do a video of all my Bullseye covers at some point.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Very
That's
nice.
my first 5.
Okay, I got my first 5. And these are in reference to, since we're all going to be staying at home and you need something to watch on TV or binge watch, these comic books kind of reference some great shows or movies. Nice. So we have Star Trek, the original. I don't even know what issue that is because it's a gold key one. It's a 15-cent cover price. Remember this one coming up right here?
Yeah, I do.
Come on now. Married with Children, #4. I think that's available on Hulu to watch all those. Kelly, give me a break. Kelly, man. Kelly.
She was beautiful.
Here's another one. V. Remember this one?
Oh my gosh, I haven't seen that in years.
I don't know where it's available as far as the original, but I think the remake, what they did when the 2 seasons about 10 years ago, I think that's on like Crackle or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but V, the original miniseries, and then they did a small show that didn't last very long. But that was awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Lizard people and all that stuff.
Yeah, that was cool stuff.
This is one of my favorite movie franchises, and they also had a TV show as well. Mm-hmm. The Terminator #1 by Dark Horse Comics. I remember that book.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the classic Predator #1 by Dark Horse. I think there's about 18 to 28 different movies for the Predator available now.
Something like that. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, I don't know, but there's a lot of them. But if you're looking for something to watch, there's some options right there. So it's kind of cool. So let's go ahead and jump into the comments. And like I said before, these comments aren't based on the topic that we were going to talk about. We're going to suspend that for a while until we come back here.
Yeah.
This is actually like our 22nd episode that we've done together. Yes.
That's amazing.
For the coffee one. And it just wouldn't feel right to do another one without you sitting next to me. So I want to hold off until we can sit here comfortably without getting all worried, and, talk about comics.
For sure. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, no problem. I also, before we get started, real quick, I want to say to all the Patreon members who are supporting the channel, thank you so much. It does help out quite a bit. If you want to donate to the channel or support us on Patreon right now, don't do it. Save your money. Your expenses are probably going to come up, and you know what? Keep it, and maybe later down the road, if you want to, then do it. But at the end of the video, for the people who are supporting the channel, I'll go ahead and read off your names, and thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Money is definitely going to be tight for a lot of people.
So you are up first, I believe.
Yeah.
And we still don't have ink for my printer, so we're using good old-fashioned cell phones.
So this first comment comes from Nola Nerd. Thank you very much, Nola. Bueller, I just want to say to you that, to me, you are the Mr. Rogers of YouTube comic book family. Everyone appreciates Mr. Rogers for his honesty and full-hearted attempt to include everyone and make everyone feel accepted. You are non-controversial and compassionate, just like him too. I just want to share that thought with you. That is an awesome comment. How does it make you feel?
Maybe a certain time in my life, I don't think I'd like to be compared to Mr. Rogers. But, right now, it's very flattering.
Yeah.
Non-controversial and compassionate. We talk about subjects on here, but we try to be honest and show both sides.
For sure.
You're not going to watch this channel and be like, oh man, he just told off someone or something like that. That's not what we're about. Because we are compassionate. Mm-hmm. We do care. Maybe we don't agree with someone, but we do care about them.
Right.
Nola Nerd, he's watched for a long time. And if you watch my other channel, Travesty, you might not have that opinion because there's some shows on there that are a little more adult. Not controversial, just adult, but we're having fun.
For sure.
But thank you so much, my friend. It's much appreciated. And later on in this episode, I'm going to talk about my origin story, or almost a rebirth. Because I have my origin story, how I got into comics. And then I like to call this part of my life kind of a rebirth. Stealing that from DC, I guess.
There you go.
So a couple different things. So thank you, Nola Nerd. I appreciate that. The next one up is from Mark Spector Comics. He said, "This is really cool. I've been following the channel for quite some time when I started getting into collecting and wanting to reach out to get more information on comics, etc. I found your channel, and from there, an entire community. Thanks again, Bueller, for what you do." When I started the channel, I never thought about that. I never thought that this might be a doorway for people to get into comics. And shortly after, when I started getting comments like that, I kind of accepted it and said, okay, it's on me to say, people are finding comics through this channel. I need to put my best foot forward and make sure that the door is wide open for people to come in and, like he said, discover all the other people, like you, or John's Comics with Kids, or Comic Hat 84, or Reggie Collects, or all these other great people that I've had the chance to talk to and spend time with, because there's so much stuff out there that's great in comics and people making content about comic books. People have referred to me as like the Mr. Rogers or whatnot like that, and some other things, but I've always kind of looked at myself as the doorman, and I'm just the guy holding open the door and telling people to come on in. And once you get in, you can find whatever you like, and when you find what you like, you stick with it, and because it's a great thing to have. Comics are a great medium. The people creating content about comics do a great job, and I'm going to hold that door open as wide as I can for as long as I can, until somebody tells me to shut the door or whatnot, But Mark Spector Comics, thank you so much. That's an awesome comment. Like I said, I've gotten a few of those just really touching things like that say you've helped me get back into comics, or I found all this stuff because of you, and I don't take that lightly, so thank you very much.
That's awesome. I'll just say, you talk about having the door holder, keeping the door open. I'll call you an ambassador. And bottom line is, when I first got back into comics, like I told you before, I looked on YouTube. How are people collecting comics now? And the first two channels was Comic Tom, and then there was a episode one night where you two both were on there, and that's how I found out about your channel. So I went and checked it out.
Oh,
yeah, and you guys have changed the game, and the way comic collecting is now, with the YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and all of the social media that's involved inside of it now, it has changed the game. And you, my friend, are definitely that. I mean, you said, look me up. We'll have some coffee. Coffee's on me. And I did just that. And as a result of that, I've been opened up to a whole slew of people, an amazing community that I never would have been exposed to before.
Yeah.
And so thank you, man. I appreciate you.
There's a lot of great people out there. I can't imagine myself a couple of years ago and not having all these people in my life. And now I just look at it like there's hundreds and thousands of people that I've talked to, or sent a message to, or spent time with, that a couple of years ago I had no idea who they were.
Right.
And that puts the human face on what we're doing.
Sure.
It's not just a little text message or whatnot that you see on a video. I mean, it's actual face. There's someone behind there. There's someone saying that to you. There's someone taking the time out of their day to give to you. And if somebody does that, you owe it to them to do your best.
Absolutely.
And like I said many times, put your best foot forward.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I think we both share that in common.
Absolutely.
All right, Bob, you're up next.
Sure thing. Let me get my glasses on here, my eyes. Okay, so the next one comes from Punished Comics. He says, congrats on 2 years. Your channel was the first I came across years ago and is still my number one go-to comic channel. Love watching you and Sam on the other channel. Stay on top and keep these awesome videos coming. I agree.
Yeah. So Sam on the other channel, Travesty, and we're going to reference that quite a bit, because there's not very many people subscribe to that channel. It's only less than 400 or whatnot. And but Sam, our good buddy, he's on there quite a bit with me. Unfortunately, it's kind of the same situation. We're not going to be able to hang out for a little while. But we do this show called The BS Show, and it's literally just, we're playing characters. It's not, we have extreme affection and towards each other.
Yeah. They're good friends.
Really good friends. But we kind of put a spin on it. And we go for the laughter.
For sure.
And maybe it's a little uncomfortable sometimes, but at the end of the day, we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a little more adult of a show, but I guarantee you this: if you tune into it, you'll be laughing. So I mean, it's one of my favorite shows during the week to go to. And highly entertaining and so funny.
Yeah,
you guys are a bunch of chuckleheads, man.
The Gwyneth Paltrow episodes are probably some of the best.
Oh, man, how do you want to go there, bro?
The Gwyneth Paltrow episodes are a must-watch.
Gwyneth Paltrow and candles. That's all I got to say.
It's a real thing, people. We're not making it up.
Nope. And sometimes they do talk about comics.
Yeah, but not very often.
No.
Okay, the next one I have here is from Rodrigo, I believe, Pudriego.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Sounds about right. Says, congratulations on the anniversary, Bueller. These stories are amazing. Very appropriate discussion topic for the landmark video. He's talking about our 2-year anniversary video when we talked about people's origin stories.
Sure.
Comics bring us together. We all have our own stories, and being able to share them allows us to realize how similar we are to each other as humans. I am sincerely moved by how much these stories mean for different people.
Yeah.
I was too. I read every one of those comments on that video.
Yeah.
And the like two or three of the videos were like all people's origin stories. Plus, we got people email them to us that are a little bit more private,
sure.
or direct message and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they all shared the similar thing, the love of comics.
Yeah.
I mean, it was literally just how much they enjoyed reading the comics when they were kids and what it meant to them and the escapism that took them out of their life. Maybe they were going through some hard times, or maybe they didn't feel like they belonged, and the comic book thing, bridged that gap.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I want to kind of jump into my origin story, and then I'll get into my rebirth.
Sure.
So my origin story on comics, I got $2.50 a week allowance. I live out in the country. It can be, right now it has more population to it, but back then it was a farm town.
Mm-hmm.
And we lived about 5 miles outside a town. I'd get my allowance, I'd get on my bike, and I'd ride my bicycle into town. And I'd go and I'd get a whatchamacallit candy bar, a soda pop from the pop shop. They just did pop with the bottles. You'd have to bring the bottles back. They'd fill them up for you.
Oh, yeah.
And then I would get a 3-pack of comics from the rack at Thriftway. And that was my Saturday. That was my Saturday afternoon. I think I had like a quarter left to go to the arcade and play track and field.
There you go.
That was it. That was my Saturday for years. And through that, I was so happy to get my comics. And then look in the bags and get the ones up. And I wasn't bagging and boarding back then. I was just a kid. I didn't care. I rolled them up, put them in my back pocket, and rode my bike back home. 5 miles uphill both ways. You know the story. But I just remember having them and just looking at them in my bedroom and be like, oh man, that's so neat. The colors, the heroes, and what they can do. I wish I could do that. I wish I could fly. I wish I was invisible. I wish I had super strength. Wish. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And then as time went on, that my collecting got more focused, and I found characters I related to more. X-Men was a big one. And then I remember my mom took me to my very first comic book shop in Milwaukee. I believe it was Pegasus Books. I don't know if you remember that one.
No.
But it was literally on the corner right now where the Dark Horse, the window is, where it has a Predator and Aliens. Mm-hmm. Right there was the comic shop.
Wow.
So it was called, I think it was Pegasus.
So that place has kind of a comics history then.
Yes, it does.
That's awesome.
I remember going in there, and my mom said you can have any book you wanted. And in the books I had, I always saw the advertisement for this one book, but I could never find it. And it was Contest of Champions #1.
Oh, I remember that.
And it had all the characters on the front of the cover. They're all looking at something. It's all just like them looking at something. I was like, what are they looking at?
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to know. I wanted to know what the heroes were looking at. We went to that shop. They had it there. I bought it. And I was just like, this is amazing. This is amazing. This is exactly what I wanted. I brought it home. I read the book. I loved it. Years later, I reread it, realized it wasn't a very good story, to be totally honest.
Yeah.
But I think that was probably the first one I ever bought. It was in a bag and board. that introduced me to this whole new world. From there, again, just more books, enjoying the hobby. Then I got into selling books and going to the Memorial Coliseum before the Rose Garden was even a thing, and actually setting up tables at little conventions where there was no celebrities. It was just a big room of comics. I was like 15, 16 years old with my own table by myself. My mom remembers telling me, I didn't remember this, I had to think about it, but she said the first time I did it, I packed up the back of my stepdad's Pinto. Yes, it was a yellow Pinto, like pea yellow.
Oh gosh.
I packed up all the long boxes in there. He was going to give me a ride in the morning. I was so paranoid, I slept in the car that night.
That's awesome.
Because I didn't want anything to happen to the books.
Yeah.
And the next morning, my stepdad drove me down. He helped me unload the books and stuff. And I started selling them. I was like, oh, this is great. I love selling the books and talking with people. And I did that for many years. Finally, around 21, I was there was a child on the way, and life started going on. I was like, well, we gotta take a step back from comic books. So we ended up going to one more event, and I sold my whole collection. Literally sold every long box I took in there, and there was 3 long boxes left out of like 20, and the guy next to me, I said, you want them? $50? He said, sure, I'll take them. Walked in there with 20 long boxes, walked out with a wad of cash. I'm pretty sure we bought a car and something else with it. So that was it. That my collecting time was done right then. I think I had like maybe a stack of books at my house still, I kept throughout the years. But that was it. And up until about 3 years ago, no collecting, no reading, no nothing at all on that. I'll get into the rebirth here in a few minutes, but let's go ahead and jump back into the comments. I think you're up next.
Yeah. Great Origin, man. No, looks like you're next.
Okay, I got it. All right, so the next one is from Scott Thielen. He says, happy 2-year anniversary, Bueller. You deserve all the success you had. I've often thought about making videos, but you have set the bar really high. Scott, we have time on our hands. Scott, you probably do too, and a lot of people who are watching probably have felt the same way about making videos. I want to do it. I don't know, if I should or whatnot. As far as the bar being set high, just go look at my original videos. Everybody starts from somewhere.
That's right.
And everybody starts with 1 subscriber. It's their mother. Mm-hmm. And you grow from there.
Absolutely.
So if anyone's thinking about making videos about your joy of comics or whatever, now's the perfect time.
Absolutely. When I first started getting into this, I was very apprehensive. I knew I wanted to do it, but I was very apprehensive, and there were 2 key factors which pushed me over the edge. Number 1, there's a guy at work named Blake, and he's an amazing sound guy. He does film editing and all that type of stuff, and he told me, he said, the biggest hurdle everybody comes across is equipment. I'm telling you right now, just go with what you got and just get your first video out there. And don't worry about what it looks like, what it sounds like. Just get it out, because the first one's the hardest. Yeah. And then I had this guy telling me pretty much the same thing, but then he kept on me. So when you put that video out? When you put that video out? Until finally I was just like, okay, I'm going to do it this week. And then he gave me everything I needed as far as pointers on what to do. And he's just be yourself. Yeah. And I got the first one out, and here I am, 4 months later, and it's been it's amazing. Just get it out there. Yeah, I mean that's the best piece of advice I can give.
My first video was shot on a Gen 1 iPad, literally stacked up on a bunch of boxes with like a Lego hand-built Lego stand to hold it upright.
That's awesome.
With no speaker, no nothing. You can actually see me walking to the thing to press record, and then walking back.
I love it.
To the seat to do the video, and then at the end of the video I get up and walk and turn it off because I didn't know how to edit or cut nothing out.
Right.
But that was it. There was no microphone. There was literally just the lights in my bedroom and just whatever I had that would shoot a video. Yeah. And I just did it and put it out there. And then through time, if it's something that you enjoy doing, I think people take the time to improve on it. Yeah. So it's just step 1 is just doing your first one. You don't even have to put your face on the video. My first 5 videos, I'm not even in them. It's literally just me showing some books. You just see the books in front of the camera and my hand, and that's about it. I think the 6th video I did was when I actually stepped in front of the camera, and I was extremely nervous, and honestly, I still get nervous today. I'm more comfortable, but it's still, I want to do my best.
Sure.
And I think back then when I was doing it, that really wasn't a thing. I was more like, I just want to get it done.
Yeah.
But now I'm more nervous. Is it good enough? Is it my best? Could I have done better? That's a question I ask myself now.
Right.
Before I was like, man, I'm glad I made it. I made it. I'm good. So, and then you go back and you look at those, you're like, oh my God, what was that?
What was that?
But Scott, if you're thinking about doing it, please do so, man. I mean, it's a lot of fun, and I'll go ahead and just get into my second rebirth of my origin with that, because that has a lot to do with it. So like I said, I didn't collect for a very long time. My buddy Damon, who you know, he called me up about 3 years ago, and he's like, hey, there's a comic shop that's open down the street in Gladstone, Comics Adventure. I go, okay, cool. He remembers I like comics, so I walk in there and walk in the front door, and it's just a little shop. They've since moved, and the guy there, Bruce, the owner, he welcomed me in and said hello, and he pointed me towards the back room that had all these 50-cent boxes, and I walked back there and I started flipping through these books, and all of a sudden I come across like Fallen Angels, the limited series and stuff. I was like, oh, I remember those. And it was literally like, I remember this, I remember that, I remember this. And I think I got like 20 books. So I spent like $10. And brought them home and just kind of flipped through them and really enjoyed it. Like, man, I missed this. This is a part of my life that I probably missed the most. As far as what I really enjoyed. I had other hobbies, but the comics were always something really special.
Yeah.
I went back. I asked him, hey, if I get into something new, what would you recommend? He recommended me reading Astonishing X-Men by Josh Whedon, I believe. I picked up that trade. He gave me a really good deal on it. I loved it. I thought it was really good. And from there, the ball just started rolling.
Yeah. And
then I decided to make a video. I was like, I literally went home. I looked up on YouTube comic books. It's literally, I just like everyone, like people describe what they did. I did exactly the same thing. I found a few channels. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. They're just showing books. I didn't know what they were doing. I didn't know what they were showing. I didn't know if anything was special or not, And so I just decided to do it. I just decided to make some videos. Here we are, 2 years later from that date. And I've said this before. That decision changed my life. If I wouldn't have done that, and this sounds horrible, but I honestly feel this, because at that time of my life, a couple years ago, I know my family loves me and they're always there for me, but I felt like a burden to them. I really did. Nothing going on. My kids are older. They're out the house. They're living their life. I'm not working. I'm sitting on the couch. Every day looks exactly the same. My mom's helped me out. My siblings are helping me out, and stuff. And it's like, I feel horrible because I wasn't able to help myself. And I really did feel like a burden to them. If I didn't make that decision to make a video and to go on YouTube and for you people to find me, I don't know where I would be right now. I would still feel like that. But right now, today, I don't feel that way. I can, take care of myself. I'm not a burden to my family. I feel as though I'm adding to their enjoyment in life. And for a long time, I don't think I was able to say that. So doing this and doing the comics and you people watching changed my life. And honestly, and I don't say this lightly, saved my life. So that's what you guys mean to me. So every time when I sit down and turn on this video and record something, that's what's going through my head. So thank you. I can't say thank you enough. You guys saved my life.
I appreciate you telling us that story. I've never heard you put it that way. And I just got to say that, to use the words rebirth is pretty appropriate because usually in any place where you see a rebirth happening, life happens around it. And that's one of the things about you. You have life that is growing around you. You have opened the door for other people to grow and to flourish. And that is the sign of an amazing rebirth. And so thank you for telling me that story, man. That's awesome.
You're welcome.
I feel like it's more personal than this over here. So,
all right, Bob, you're up next.
Come on, man.
Last one.
All right. And this last one comes from Jeremy Brown. Jeremy, thank you very much. He says, your show has been more than informative for me as a new collector. Thank you for your time. It's our most valued commodity, the only thing you can't make more of. Absolutely. I agree with that so much. And, you know, really there's a lot of other things we could be doing with our time.
Yeah.
I enjoy this so much. I love getting together with you. I love the relationship that's formed between us as a result. Relationship that's formed with Sam and with Damien, Hero and the Kid, you know, Robbie from Pop Culture Philosophy. There's so many people that relationships have formed. And, you know, I'm a pastor, so I'm a relational person anyway. But this community has just been amazing.
Yeah.
And so I do not mind putting the time into it. Yeah. I love it.
You know, that's a statement my dad used to always say to me when I was younger, and I don't think I ever really appreciated it for a long time. You know, because it's always all, you know, money's one thing, but time is what's important. And it really is, you know, and that's the way I've said this a lot, you know. People give us their time. Right now they're watching this video. You guys are watching this video. You are giving us your time.
Yeah.
That's something big. That's worth way more than a dollar figure or anything like that. You know, they're deciding to give that to us. Time is so precious. Right now, it's such a weird time in our lives that honestly, I never thought we'd be sitting here, you know, with what's going on. And maybe we're blowing it out of proportion, but, you know, I'd rather be safe than sorry.
Absolutely.
You know, but it really is. So time is important. Spend it with your family. Spend it with the ones you love. Don't take it for granted, because before you know it, you know, it's gone.
It's gone.
So, Jeremy, you're absolutely right, and I thank you for taking the time to write that, and thank you for taking the time to share with us and watch us, and it's very important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so those are the comments that we wanted to read. You know, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who's watched. Like I said, we're just going to take a break for a while until everything kind of blows over. We're still going to be making our regular videos,
sure.
But we just won't be here together until everything is good to go, and we can sit here and talk about comics and have some more smiles on our faces and stuff like that. So, but anyway, let's go ahead and jump to our final five.
Okay, sounds good.
And let's see, were these mine? They
Those
were.
Yours.
Okay, you're up then.
All right. So this last week, I got besides getting this amazing artwork from Logan Lumpkins, I got I got an AOK from our good friend Two Gun Pedro.
There you go.
And he sent me a bunch of stuff. There was Daredevil that I didn't have in my collection yet, and so these are some of the things that he sent me. There's some Daredevil Battling Jack, and then this is a Mexico variant that you can only get there, which I thought was really cool. This is Daredevil issue number 1/2, the one that Wizard put out from the Guardian Devil series that was done by Kevin Smith and Joe Quesada. And then there's this amazing Spider-Man cover with, I'm assuming, Peter Parker in the Daredevil suit, which I thought is pretty cool.
I think that's Ben Affleck.
Is it Ben Affleck? Okay,
yeah.
Not a problem. And then Marvel Knights number 1, and of course Daredevil drawn by Joe Quesada, my favorite Daredevil artist. There's my final 5.
There you go. Very cool, man. Well, I got my final 5. It's a little variety of everything. This is Hawkman number 10. This is like my earliest DC comic I have. It's a 12-cent cover price. It is mangled, but you know what? It's kind of cool. And honestly, I don't even think the cover is stapled to it. I think it's just laying on there. So that's not bad. And then really cool book, Hulk 102. Love this one.
That's a Steranko cover, isn't it?
I don't know. Maybe I should look that stuff up.
Yeah.
I don't know. Iron Man number 2. Another really cool book.
Nice.
Amazing Spider-Man number 18. This is my earliest Spider-Man. I believe this is the first appearance of Ned Leeds. If I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I probably am. And then I referenced this book earlier, and I wanted to end on this book. And this is Contest of Champions number 1.
Awesome stuff.
And that is the book that was purchased at Pegasus Books in Milwaukee. I think it was called Pegasus. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. If anyone's local remembers that, please let me know. But that was the one I bought on that day when I was just a little kid. My mom took me there and got it, and
that's awesome.
I've had it ever since. It's one of the books that made it. You know, there's like I said, there's a stack of books that made it. That was one of them. My Batman Legend of the Dark Knight graphic novel. That was another one.
Yeah.
And a few other ones like that. So, very cool.
That's awesome stuff, man.
Let's go ahead and get to the giveaway real fast.
Yes.
We're just going to go ahead and announce the winners for the Finger Guns autograph, and I threw in the Batman 89 second print. So the winner of this one is, let's see, Brandon Raduin, I believe. Brandon Raduin. I'll put the name right down below. You are the winner. Congratulations. All you have to do is just send me an email. My email is in the description. We'll get that taken care of for you. But you have won the Finger Guns autograph by the creator and Batman 89 second print.
Congratulations.
Very cool. And the second winner of the Action Comics 9.8 slab, you won this because all you had to do was go to Dadbot Shenanigans. He actually donated this, and subscribe to his channel. Leave the hashtag Bueller on one of his videos. And the winner for that is Chris Peterson. I pronounced that one right. I know that for sure. So Chris Peterson, you are the winner of this one. So thank you, Chris, and thank you to Dadbot Shenanigans. If you want to check out his channel, he actually did you watch his? He did an unboxing for the Bueller boxes.
I did.
And I sent him a roll of toilet paper.
That was great.
He's actually a good friend of mine. I've known him for years and stuff, so we kind of mess with each other. But
classic and apropos.
He got a great big kick out of it and stuff. So
for sure,
go check out his channel, Dadbot Shenanigans. He does a bunch of unboxings of just a bunch of stuff, not just comics. He does. Also, real quick, I want to run down the Patrons really fast, and then we'll just have some closing words. The Patrons right now who are supporting the channel, we have Sleepy Reader 666, Comic Crazy, Comic Books NYC, Bub's Comics, Brett F, Adam D, Robert Galvin, Reggie Simmons, Pete C, Mike Rogers, Jose A, Discovery Bay, John M, Jack B, Hero and the Kids, Scarpads Comics, Steve Whiting, Two Brothers, Zach K, David Richards, Keith Mayo, Miguel Gonzalez, Tony Miles, DD Bullseye, that guy, Brian Lawrence, Derek Magnus, Giuseppe F, Comic Ron, Pop Culture Philosophers Robbie, and Eric Struble. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. It does help out quite a bit. So, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Bob, it's your episode 76. That was it. 23 episodes.
That's awesome.
It's been a lot of fun doing these, and adding you to the show has made a huge difference.
Thank you.
This was actually, I don't know if people know this, but Bob and I, when we first met, I kind of ran an idea by him about like a fly on the wall type video that I wanted to do with like multiple people, and we never actually look at the camera or something. We just kind of talk, and I put it out there, and a few weeks went by, and I said, Bob, I think I'm already doing a video like that. I go, well, what about the coffee video? Because he was watching the coffee video. And I go, I like the simple fact that the coffee video is basically, it's comments that we're talking about.
Right.
So it's the people who are giving us the comments, and we're going from there. So we can literally cover the same topic over and over and over, and it's different every time because it's based on the comments that you guys leave. So we sat down, and I told him, I said, I want you to come on, and that's going to be the new format. And since then, our viewership is tripled almost.
Wow.
On the coffee videos, and we had one that went over 10,000 views.
That was amazing.
Yeah. So I mean, it's definitely making a difference. So I want to say thank you to you for joining the coffee episode. Like I said, it wouldn't be the same without you. So we're going to take a little bit of a break.
Yeah, and I'm kind of sad that that's happening, but it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
You know, and I do enjoy this very much, and I appreciate you trusting me and inviting me onto the show. Because it's one of the highlights of my week, and it's also given me so much.
Yeah.
I've gotten so many subscribers that have come directly, from this show, and again, this stuff is, I love it, and just to be able to get together with somebody, who has the same love that I do for comics, and we can go back and forth for hours on it. I love that. Yeah. there's never a dull moment whenever I come and hang out with you, and so I really appreciate that. But I do have some other things that I'm working on.
There you go.
And I'm just playing around with it. We'll see what happens. I'll drop something this week.
We got time on our hands.
For
everything comics. Bob's channel. The link is down below. It's a featured channel on my homepage, so just go check it out.
Yeah.
He's getting close to 1,000. He's like 100 and some odd away.
170.
170. That's not too much. No. We're almost at 10,000. We're only a couple hundred away.
Wow.
And so that's coming up pretty quick. So
that's awesome.
But anyways, guys, thank you so much for your time. Like I said before, we enjoy doing this. We're just going to take a little bit of a break for this episode.
Yeah.
But you know what? You guys stay safe. Spend some time with your family. Enjoy that time with your family and friends. Mm-hmm. And we will see you soon. So don't forget to like and subscribe. You know what to do. Stay healthy. Stay safe.